Thanks for listening tonight, guys. We're going to bring another song out. This song is called Battleships. This next song's called Behind These Eyes.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you guys for having us on. It's much pleasure to have us. We never have come out to Ithaca, so it's really nice to be out here, and we're glad everybody's listening in.
Oh. You feeling good, buddy?
Yeah. High quality H2O moment. All right, this next song is called Jester. It's one of our personal favorites. So just if anybody is listening and likes what they hear, we do have stuff available online. You can find us. You can message us. There's Facebook and
Mobdaymusic.com.
Say Mobday Music. Sorry, I was catching my breath. All right. How about another song? I would say, how about we do Save Me? This next song's called Save Me. driving around, and I see you driving through town. No baby wants to beat away. You just drive me insane. Now I see you driving around, and I see you driving through town. No baby wants to beat away. You can't say. Now I see you driving around. Once again, thank you guys for having us. It's a pleasure to be in Ithaca. We got one more song. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Make sure you reach out to us and let us know what you think. This song's called Queen. I'd like to know. You find me falling down the steps of life. Break your back is what they say. Thank you guys very much. We're Mobday.
Film the banjo. There we go. And now we have Mobday here. I should turn on your mics. This is an idea here. I'm new, clearly.
Story of our life.
So, Mobday.
Yes.
Hi,
Introduce yourselves and what you do in the band.
I am Jordan. I play lead guitar and sing backup vocals in Mobday.
I'm Ryan. I sing lead vocals.
I'm Ty, play drums.
I'm Josh, and I play bass.
Okay. And you have one more member.
We did. He had to go home.
Oh,
He
okay.
quit already.
Potato pumpkin right outside the studio.
Got to get the working hours in the morning. So
I see. All right. That's fine. We can just talk to you guys.
Yeah, we're cool.
So, you're from where?
Binghamton.
Okay. And you've never played Ithaca?
Actually, we did.
Oh.
When I started this band in 2005, and before any of these guys were in it, we
Say
actually
way back.
did. We played the Haunt in 2007, I believe.
Nice.
funny. I was actually at that show.
Were you there? You were the one person.
I was the
there.
roadie. I
So-
was the roadie at that point.
So you started the band. Is anyone else from the original lineup still in the band?
No.
What did you do to them?
Totally
what
MIA.
did happen? It was slowly, like one at a time. Like one would leave, or we'd get rid of somebody, and it was 2008 when the lineup that you kind of hear now, it really started solidifying. That's when we got Ryan here, and our ex-bass player Alex, who recently left. That's when we started cranking out the records and started like hitting the road harder.
So that's a good 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a long run.
Yeah.
And then Ty joined in 2012. He's been here since, and Josh, we've had him since I don't know, just like 3 months ago.
Yeah, because I think right after, I don't know who I talked to that booked the show here.
That was me.
Okay. I think right after that, I saw on your page that you were looking for a bass player, and I'm like, so does that mean they're not playing? And I think I wrote you, and you said, no, we're good.
Yeah, I got it.
This is what Josh's second show with us.
Yeah,
Yeah, second show.
What was the first?
Pop Evil.
Rochester.
Really?
That's how we opened up for Pop
Yeah,
Evil in Rochester.
We don't like to ease people in at all. We
were
like
talking about
Telling that. Yeah, that's our hazing ritual.
Yeah, because that was like my first show.
Ryan's first show was in front of about
First time
900
ever being a
people.
singer. I was actually a rhythm guitar player and a roadie, as Jordan knows. But first time ever being a singer up front, and we were in front of what?
About 900 people. I
Yeah, say 900 to 1,000. It was like, and I literally had 2 songs written. And we had to play for half an hour. He's like, all right, dude, good luck.
Make it up as you go.
Yep.
So needless to say, we don't usually suffer too much stage fright problems.
I guess not.
Because it's right out of the gate.
Why Mobday?
I think it was a typo. if you look at your keyboard in front of you, N and B are next to each other. And I think what we think happened, I'm pretty sure this is what it was. We were testing out fonts for logos, and someone just typed Monday just to see what the lettering would look like, but the
And they got
B
Mobday.
fired
They ignored
instead.
the autocorrect that said, did
So
you
we just
mean
looked at it
Monday?
on the screen, and with the font and everything, I was like, that looks really cool.
So it doesn't actually mean anything.
means
No.
nothing.
Well, that's why it was so funny for
Total
years.
mistake.
Like, we had a lot of trouble with people having, like, when the first, 2 years of being around, we had trouble with people, try and find us online. And we were trying to put stuff out, but as everybody knows, until you kind of get a following and get views and stuff, search engines don't recognize it, or you're paying your way into it. So, everybody was like, every time I go to search your band, it pulls up, all these things for, Blue Monday. And Did you mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you mean Monday?
So, it's been interesting.
Yeah, Facebook. When I put the playlists up, I always tag all the new bands, whether they're international or whatever. And if you have under a certain number of hits, a lot of times they don't. If it's a common word, it doesn't come up in that list.
Right.
And sometimes it just won't come up, even if it's a weird word. And I'll go look for the band's Facebook page, and I'll find it. And they'll have 500 fans, and it's like, great. Why won't you let me tag this? And if they have a shortcut, sometimes that works, and sometimes that doesn't even work. And it's like, nice Facebook. So you're just screwing the small guys here.
Yeah. Well, I always thought it was funny when we actually got to run into, one of, Jordan and I actually grew up together, so it was one of our heroes growing up, but we were out in California for NAMM convention and business meetings and stuff, and we actually got to run into Monkey from Korn.
Oh.
Wicked chill dude. Wicked funny. But I remember, obviously there's a point in the conversation where you kind of try not to be a fanboy, and you're like, here's our business card. And I remember him looking at it, and he's just like, what does that mean? And we're like, it means nothing. And he's just like,
don't worry about
that
it.
is genius. He's like, that's totally what we
coming
went for.
from a guy in a band called Korn.
Exactly.
Can't really
Yep.
say much.
And clearly it worked for them.
Yeah, exactly.
So how far out have you played?
God. I know we've been to Jersey. We've Philly, Rochester, Syracuse area.
Yeah, it's been very regional
Okay.
as far as the touring goes because
The going-
it's tough.
Yeah.
It costs
Yeah.
a lot of money. So
The going phrase at home is whenever somebody's like, "Oh, do you play local?" We're like, "Well, it's usually 2 or 3 hours north or 2 or 3 hours south."
Right.
No idea why it works out that way.
What's so you're open for Pop Evil. Who else have you opened for that's national?
We've opened for Tantric several times. We actually ended up becoming pretty good friends with the singer. Ended up being a wicked nice dude.
Hugo,
Yeah, Hugo's awesome guy.
Saliva a few times.
A few times
Those
with
guys were
Saliva.
Queensryche.
Days of the New, we played their last show ever.
The Rods. God.
Yeah, Queensryche was a good 8-minute set we played.
Yeah.
Why an 8-minute set?
Oh, there was
Just
it was
timing
a,
is
it was
just
a
timing
fiasco
stuff.
of I guess the nice way to put it is management versus stage crew.
Oh.
And
There
not
was like a
our
wicked
management or our
rainstorm.
stage crew.
Yeah.
It was like a wicked rainstorm, and
The-
just somebody's
It's-
trailer got stuck in the mud, so it just threw
And
everyone
really,
back.
what happened is I get a call from the promoter. He's like, "Hey, we're an hour behind. Don't you guys worry. Take your time. Load up whatever you got to do." I was like, "Cool." So I text everyone. I was like, "Hey, chill out for a bit. We're
Yeah.
on hold." And then I get a call an hour later, and he's like, "Hey, so
Where are you guys?
the show's back on schedule, so you needed to be here an hour
We need to hear
ago."
that. Yeah.
Well, it was interesting
So
because
everyone's rushing in, and then they're like, "We're gonna cut the first band," and they were good friends of ours.
and they
in the-
traveled
in
They
the
drove
sh-
from only
in the
2
shadow.
hours.
They drove
yeah.
a long way to get there, and we're like, we can't let them not play. So
Right.
So we
the
basically
promoter's
split a
like, well, you
half-hour
each
set.
get about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's something anyway.
that's what
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
That's what happens when the stage crew that's there to set up the PA and they're driving a truck with all of the PA system for like a large outdoor venue. They let somebody who's not in charge tell them, "Oh, just pull around to the back, the backside of the stage." And the backside of the stage is like creek bed.
Right.
So
right.
they pull back and they start backing up to the stage, and it literally sunk right to the axle. So
Oh.
they had to pull everything off by hand and
That was a
cart it
disaster.
upstairs. And yeah, it was interesting.
So which version of Queensryche was it?
It was
The Todd
not
LaTorre
the
version.
good one that we like. I mean, they were good, but it wasn't Jeff Tate.
Oh, okay. See, everyone else I know likes the Todd LaTorre version.
I thought they were great.
They were, yeah. I mean, he's
A great
about as
vocalist.
close as you're gonna get to Jeff Tate,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I just have a soft spot for Jeff Tate.
I don't know. I had so much fun with the dudes from the Rods. Like those guys were
They were great.
super great. I mean,
Yeah.
they came over immediately after their set and were like, they were apologizing for all the confusion. They felt that it was their fault. They're like, "Oh, we're so sorry that you guys got cut short. You guys were great. The crowd loved you. Like blah blah blah." And we're like, "Yeah, okay, cool. No, that's awesome." And we're just thinking like, "Oh my gosh, it's the Rods."
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, can we buy some stuff? Like, we just want to support you guys." And it was just mind blowing because we're thinking like the legacy behind them, and they're talking to us
Yeah.
like your
Oh,
average Joe
they're
local
really
band.
nice
yeah,
guys, yeah.
wicked
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
dudes.
So you have how many albums out now?
2 out. Well, one of them was physically printed, and then the digital license ran up, so we're going to re-release that soon with some remix tracks and some bonus stuff. And Vertigo, our second album, is currently available everywhere. And then we have an acoustic EP called Imperial Woods that's going to be coming out November 2nd.
Okay. And where'd you record the new one?
Partially at my house. All the instruments were done there, and then we did the vocals at our friend Jack's house, which his neighborhood is called Imperial Woods, so that's why we just call
Oh,
it that.
okay. So you basically did it yourself.
Yeah.
What do you mean when you say the digital rights are running out?
We just had a distribution deal on that first record.
Oh, I see. Okay,
That just
okay.
kind of expired. And
Yeah, it was a short-term
it disappeared.
contract.
So
So when did the first album come out?
2011,
11.
January
Okay.
2011.
Have you guys been in other bands, or are you in other bands?
Yeah.
I know
we-
you do multiple.
Yeah, I got a lot going on. I have a couple recording projects with some friends around the country. We just kind of make songs.
right.
and, Yeah.
That's cool.
Then,
It's great that you can do that nowadays.
Yeah, it's awesome. There are guys I grew up with, but we all, when we all split and moved different directions, it was tough to jam. But now we can.
There's some
do
of those
stuff.
guys that were in an early incarnation of this, actually.
Yeah, those guys actually were in Mobday for a good week or two, too. So. Then, Ty was. We got him from a local band. We saw them a bunch of times, and we were just watching him, thinking this guy's good. He'll fit the bill. So we grabbed him from
What
there.
band?
It's called The Absence of Reason.
Okay.
And we play. As a matter of fact, the last show that band played was on a bill with Mobday. and they had a fill-in drummer at the time. So I remember I was like backstage breaking my kit down. I'm like, hey, you guys got a fill-in drummer. So if you ever need anybody, just let me know. Because I was going to be without a project. So, like, fortuitous timing just worked out really well. So
Yeah, I mean, I know you were doing another, I don't know if you still are or not, but you were doing another band too, Josh.
Yeah, I'm kind of a migratory bird, rather. I just kind of do a lot. I'm always kind of like working on something. I was in a band called Alive in the Night. That was like a metalcore band. Yeah, you know, half screaming, half singing. Kind of moved on from that. Still writing stuff for it, but you know.
Okay.
Yeah, one day at a time with music. Like I said, I got a lot going on. So,
See, we always think it's funny though, because people come up and are like, "Oh yeah, your bass player. That's cool. You got a new guy. He's pretty tight." And Josh is actually like a phenomenal guitar player. He's primarily been a guitar player for most of his other bands, so it was
Much better than me too.
It was kind of one of those offensive. We had to like tread light. They were like, "We know you're really good at guitar. Like, would you play bass?" And he's like, "Sure."
We wanted a guitarist in the bass spot. We never tried that.
Yeah.
We grew up on bands that had the bass player was an accomplished guitarist, and we just kind of were looking at that. We're like, well, there's a formula right there we haven't tried. So that's why we called Josh up.
play guitar riffs 2 octaves lower.
So what's been one of the weirdest things that's happened to you playing live?
Oh gosh.
This one guy kept spilling his beer on me in the front row, and he's like, he's dancing around. It kept like hitting me, so I'm still playing, so I just reached down and like grabbed it with my mouth, just took his beer out of his hand, and kind of finished it like that.
That was one of the shows in the early days where they only allowed us to have like 2 beers a member. I think
Found ways, obviously.
my funniest memory was at it was the Voodoo Lounge. It used to be the Ice House. It was the Voodoo Lounge. We did our CD release party for the first album.
With the burrito guy or the dancer?
No, the dancing dude.
Oh.
There was this like older gentleman, like he's there in like a windbreaker jacket and everything. And he's having a grand old time. You could tell he was a little saucy. The funniest, most amazing part was every song that we played, you'd get through the first verse, and by the time you hit the chorus, the jacket's off, the shirt's off, and he's flailing them around, having a great time. And then by the end of the song, shirt goes back on, jacket goes on, he
Leaning
sips his
against the
beer.
wall like nothing
Next
happened.
song, first verse, right into the chorus. Next thing I look up, and he's half naked,
Wow.
flinging around. I'm like, oh my! And it was that way through the whole set. We played for what, like an hour and a half or something like that, and he was every
Nice.
single song.
Certainly getting his exercise.
Yeah, it was that, and like the hippie dude outside, and like they had a smoking area, and there was a hippie dude that had a grill that
He dragged his grill through the front door, like past the door guy.
and would charge
He's
you
just
like a crazy amount for these burritos.
Wow.
that he cooked on the grill. It was fun.
What? How does your songwriting process go?
In the past, it's been generally like a guitar riff would start it, and then the ideas build from there. With a song we released, we broke up for a while. 2016, we called it quits, and
How come?
I don't know. I think we were just kind of getting tired.
Okay.
I blame it a lot on me. Now that I look back at it, like I was burnt. Like I needed time away from this because I had been in the band for 11 years at that time, and for me, I was not liking it, and I didn't want that. Like I started playing music because it did something positive for me, and this was becoming something that was like harming me, and I didn't want to do it anymore. So.
Well, then
We
were
took some
starting to
time
burn out
off. Me and
songs.
Ty and Ryan, we each like did our own things on the side there. Ty and I had a group together for a little bit that was fun, and but then we reunited in March of this year, February or March,
yeah.
and we put out "Devil in Me," the single, which is it was really experimental. We didn't think so though, and but the fans were really shocked by that one, which we
It was
didn't
actually
think was that.
our first attempt at like putting something out to the public that from start to finish, both recording, mastering, everything, like we took a stab at it. And it was after like a 2-year hiatus, just kind of getting back into it and seeing what I remember you and I were talking about like some guitar riffs that I was like throwing around, and I kind of I threw them out to him, and because we actually would throw ideas around on and off, but I was just like, yeah, I kind of think this guitar riff's cool. Like, what do you think? He's like, dude, send it to me. And next thing you know, there's like a song starts forming, and then we started like piecing together lyrics and this and that, and it was like the whole time we had like a show that we were kind of doing to like we have some friends that we have several friends in different bands, and we had these a band called Year of the Locust, good friends of ours, kind of out touring and stuff, and was kind of I think honestly it was a thing from Scott to like persuade us into getting back on stage, because he knew if we did it once we would want to do it again.
Gotcha.
Because he absolutely loves us. The whole band is just super cool guys. But they were swinging through town, and they kind of needed like a pickup date, because they were just trying to get from dot to dot. And he reached out to us about like, hey, you know, is there any chance, like, I saw you guys put a song out, like, any chance maybe you could like throw a show together and we can like do a show with you, and we'll you know, do it up with you. I'm like, yeah, no, we could probably pull that off. Like, where do you want to do it? And he's like, well, in your hometown. Okay, sure. And
Well, the deal was they'd come if Mobday reunited.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Nice. So it worked.
yeah.
It worked.
It worked. Here we are.
So lyrics, where do they come from?
it kind of, I've done a bunch of stuff, but Jordan and I tend to float stuff back and forth.
It's a mix. No song is, you know, alike.
It kind of depends on the song.
Like Devil and Me, the newest song was Ty's first time writing with us, so that was him throwing some of his influence in there, and past songs, like some of those members that were in the band at the time, their influence goes in there. So each song has its own, you know, heartbeat, really. It's all different. Some songs I wrote all the lyrics, some songs you wrote all the lyrics.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a
Kind of
mix.
just depends on who's got the idea and like the melody running.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff too that evolves. Like there's ideas that I'll throw off to Jordan. Like there's songs that I've done where I had pretty much everything done. I'd send him off like a demo, and I would even like kind of throw down like my idea of like a harmony part. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I can only do so many. I can only throw my voice so many different ways. So it's like I'm kind of thinking something like this, and I throw it to him, and he's just like, take that. He's like, okay, I get what you're going for. Take it off. And there we go. Okay, now I get it. So,
What's been your best experience so far?
Just in the band in general?
Yeah. Live or with the band or
I really,
whatever.
I think mine was hearing ourselves on the radio the first time when we were still like not really playing out much.
That was kind of cool, yeah.
That was a long time ago. They used to have a local radio station where they would still allow them to do like a late night hard rock and metal show. And we had some friends that were the DJs. So it was kind of a cool thing because we were able to like hand over stuff and go in and do an interview and stuff. And it was like, of course, you know, being kids at that point, we call up all of our friends. Yo, dude, like at 10 o'clock, we're going to be on the air. And I just remember everybody cracking a beer open in our old drummer's basement at that point, because it was like the one person who had like a semi-decent stereo to like,
right.
and had room for everybody to be there having a few drinks. But yeah, that to me was probably one of the first cool moments, just because it's kind of one of those revelations when you're that young.
What about?
I like, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I like, so we were all big fans of music, obviously, growing up. And, you know, you got the posters on the wall of these guys and everything, and you're just listening to their lyrics and they're doing something for you. Hearing somebody say that something we wrote had an effect on them, that's probably the coolest thing.
Nice.
It doesn't happen that often. I'm sure there's a lot of artists that get a lot more than we do, but when we do, it's really
meaningful.
It's weird, because we, like, especially me, my lyrics, I could tell you firsthand, like, I'm just putting words down that kind of sound cool. I figure out what it means much later.
Right.
Well, we had a lot of
But
people.
for somebody to come up and say that it like did something for him, I had one girl that said she was gonna get some lyrics I wrote tattooed on her. I was
Wow.
like, please. Don't do that. It's like, what does it mean? I was like, what does it mean to you? Let's worry about that. Don't ask.
Well, that was the hard part. Is we had some people, like when we put out Vertigo, there was people that were really, I mean, there were some songs that were just catchy and felt good, and you know, we've never really released lyrics out in a CD just because kind of had that underlying thing of like going with our old school thing of bands that we grew up on that we loved to death, and you kind of would fill in blanks. Like you'd hear the words, but you'd kind of fill in the meaning on your own if you didn't have it black and white in front of you. So we kind of had that same thing, but it was kind of flattering on my behalf. Like there was some stuff on Vertigo that was personal to me, but we never put it in black and white because we didn't want to go into that whole explanation. And
Right.
And it was cool because there was a couple of the websites that we had for the distribution deal that we would get. We couldn't message them back privately, but they could send us a private message that wasn't on a public forum, and there was things like that, you know, hearing people say things like, oh yeah, you know, this song really changed my life and it talked me down from a ledge, like saved me from offing myself and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was huge.
You have any best moments?
the
I think
whole
going to NAMM was a pretty awesome experience. You
I
know,
bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to see a lot of heroes then.
Yeah, just to kind of be out and you know, and not that we're rubbing elbows. That's not the right word, but
Meeting
just
people.
being around. Yeah, just
Well,
meeting
we rubbed
people.
elbows
and-
with Rex, but that's because he like ran into us.
and just seeing guys up,
That was on our way in the door.
I almost broke
seeing
my
guys
head.
up close. You know.
And,
But
uh,
I mean, we play anytime we play for a big national. You know, like Pop People. That was a great. I mean, it was a great
Yeah.
show.
Oh, we had a blast.
And just being, you know, that was the first real big show for us back. So
Hmm.
anytime we do something like that, it's always a kind of a kick in the pants. You know.
nice. And as far as online presence, where are you?
Facebook.com/MobdayBand, MobdayMusic.com, and then all the streaming sites, Spotify, Apple Music, we're on there.
Bandcamp?
Do we have a
Not on
Bandcamp?
Bandcamp.
I don't think we do.
Okay.
No, we're getting back into the swing of this now. We're
Okay.
like new again. So
Bandcamp was
we're-
pretty new, but when we took our
MP3,
break,
MP3.com?
Is that still around?
No.
Oh, wow.
I had somebody ask about MySpace the other day. I was like, really?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all
Is that
over
even
Rhapsody,
around
right?
anymore?
Yeah, MySpace still does exist. It's just no one uses it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
think we
tried
have
to
like a
pull up
Reverb
on-
Nation account still.
Oh, and
People do
FYE
use
stores
that.
too.
Yeah.
You can pick up our records there.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think they're still available in the stores.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best place for people to follow you that you update the most?
Probably the Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah,
it's
I mean,
been the most consistent. Oh, we have an Instagram again too. We lost it for a while. We don't know how, but we got it back. It's,
well, the website,
Mobday official.
like we had a website and then we took a break and we kind of stopped that, but the website's pretty much updated too.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
All right, cool.
we're trying to get people to kind of filter toward that as well.
Nice.
Facebook's always going to be that and Instagram will always be number one, but it's good. It's good for the resume to have a .com too.
It is, and if any of these sites ever disappear,
Yeah.
you'll still have the website.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what happened with MP3.com. One day it was there, and everyone was, so many bands were using that as their only web presence.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then, like, almost overnight, it was gone, and all these bands are like, well, now we don't have a web,
They just
Yep.
give up right there.
Yep.
Yep.
So, all right. So, I think we're going to go out of this with the Rods, since you guys
Yes.
Nice.
mentioned them. I think it's their debut. The Rods came out 37 years ago, September 1981.
All right. Much love.
Most of you guys weren't even born yet.
And this is Nothing Going On in the City from the Rods, and I thank you guys so much for coming up.
Thank you so
Having
much.
us.
And you're welcome to come back when you have some more stuff you want to play.
Excellent.
All right. You are Mobday,
We are.
Yes.
We are Mobday.
and the website,
Mobdaymusic.com.
here's the Rods, Last Exit for the Lost.